Yeah, it's actually quite dark. I've got my lights on though. So I'm just testing out this live stream, guys. It's not really much going on. 1:10 a.m. It's 4:10 in the afternoon here. Can you hear me okay? I'm using the internal mic and the internal camera on my laptop. I've got a lapel mic, but for some reason it doesn't work in this laptop. I don't know what the problem is. Hey, Chop Lock. Hello, Adam. What's up, Patrick? Not bad, Patrick. Wow, you've been a subscriber for 4 years or so then. That Venom video gets me a lot of stick, and it still does to this day. There are people out there that still think that deleted scene is not a deleted scene. They think they actually saw that in the movie. There is no version of that film that has that cut in it. It has a similar scene, but it doesn't have the Venom symbiote. And then for those of you, or for those guys who do understand that it is deleted, they then question me on the fact that it's not Venom, it's the symbiote. Yes, I know that Venom is the same symbiote as the Venom, but what annoys me is they seem to think that Sony at the time in 2014 would be thinking of doing another symbiote and not Venom. It just mind blowing. Hello, Cinema Master. Boo. I'm just testing out my live feed, guys. I'm not doing much on the video, just doing a bit of editing for my Blu-ray covers. But I'm just testing my live feed, testing the audio in this because I heard that the audio is pretty bad. And the video's not the best either. I'm going to have to get myself an actual external mic and camera because these ones are rubbish. I normally use my my DSLR for my videos, but for this, obviously I can't. All the way over from Australia. Well, have a good night. It sounds like it could be true, Adam, but it's not a bad thing. Like I said in my last couple of videos, you're going to get cuts or you're going to get the first drafts of movies. They're just not going to be perfect, and that's the same with any movie. Even Infinity War had reshoots. The Godfather probably had reshoots. The biggest movies ever had reshoots. So I wouldn't actually worry about that, to be honest, especially for small independent movies, because Blumhouse is an independent style horror company, so I wouldn't worry about it. But yeah, it seems like what do you call it? The test screenings were actually true. So John Carpenter either didn't know they happened or did know and he was lying to us. And because John Carpenter's so old, he doesn't really understand the whole technology thing. He probably thinks he can lie to us and get away with it and think that we all believe him. It's not true, obviously. You still looking forward to Halloween, Adam? Two seconds, guys. Yeah, I'm kind of worried as well. No matter what I read, positive or negative, I'm always going to be worried because Halloween is one of my favorite movies of all time, and Michael Myers is one of my favorite characters. I just growing up watching horror movies, Halloween was the ones that I went to, so I felt like they had to be good. And half the Halloween movies aren't even good, but the ones that weren't too good, I still loved them as a child, as a teenager as well. So every Halloween movie holds a special place in my heart. Even Resurrection as well, but obviously I hate Resurrection, but I still appreciate it because it's a Halloween movie. I'll always go and see all the Halloween movies in the cinema if I can. Yeah, Lisa, that's what we're talking about just now, about the new Halloween movie. It's one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and it's one of my most anticipated movies of the last decade because we were waiting almost 10 years for this to come out in the cinema. I was too young to see the first Halloween movies from 1 to 7. I was too young. I was old enough to see Resurrection in cinema, but I didn't go and see it in the cinema. Wasn't interested, didn't see it at the cinema. And I seen Rob Zombie's 2 movies in the cinema, but those were a bit of a mess. Yeah, nostalgic. That's what it is, Adam. 19th of October is the international release. There's going to be maybe delayed release dates for some countries, like I don't know, maybe China, Russia, Italy. For some reason, some of those countries always get movies late, no matter what kind of movie it is. They always get them late. My DVD reviews. How you doing? Let me see this, guys. I was up my parents' loft looking for old stuff that I had, and we need to see this. Some of you might not know what this is, but I'll show you anyway. The Atari 2600. Can I ask you a question, guys? Is my video flipped? Is that back to front? I hope not. Does that say Atari or Errata? I hope that's not a mirror image I'm on live doing. Oh, good, good. I can see everything as a mirror image for some reason. I just noticed that. The Atari. I'll need to figure out how to actually show what I'm doing on my laptop at the same time as this. I've seen some other live videos that can do that. It's probably just a bit of software that I'm showing on my laptop, but I'll need to download some software like that so I can show you the editing that I'm doing because it's hard to obviously show you as I'm recording live. Oh, I'm editing some Blu-ray covers for some commissions that some people are paying me to do. It's always quite fun. A little bit extra money as well. Thanks very much, Ian. I didn't really talk about Halloween a lot, Ian, on my channel, but I've started talking about it more and more now because the new movie's coming out and it's getting closer and closer. I would have spoken about Halloween a lot more if there was more Halloween movies coming out. But yeah, Halloween is one of my favourite franchises of all time. Not just horror, but franchises in total. Yeah, I love Halloween. So yeah, I'm glad you're a subscriber now and look out for more reviews or more updates on Halloween. I'll show you a Halloween Blu-ray that I've got that I've never seen anybody show before. I think I'm the only person that has this. I'll show you. Well, the only person that has it that has access to YouTube or it. It's still not known what country this is actually from. It could be Austria or Germany, but this is the 30th anniversary Blu-ray, Halloween 2. There. And it's got a slipcover. Now, I know you're always saying, oh, we've seen this before. No, no, no. All you saw was the Blu-ray inside. Never have I seen anyone show this with a slipcover. I think I'm the only person that has a slipcover, so I'm keeping it sealed. Stickers are on it still because it could be worth a bit of money. Never have I seen someone else show this in a slipcover form. If you've got it, excellent. It's probably worth a bit of money. If you haven't got it, look around and you'll not see it anywhere. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Now, Are You Afraid of the Dark was my all-time favourite TV show as a kid growing up. I never ever watched Goosebumps. I don't know why. I don't think it was on Nickelodeon or anything, but never watched Goosebumps until recently. I only watched it because my kids watch it now. But Are You Afraid of the Dark was amazing. Like every episode that I watched, I loved. Watched it on Nickelodeon. Obviously, some of you guys might not be from the UK, but I'm from the UK, and we watched Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon used to only be on to 7 p.m. at night, and the last thing that was on Nickelodeon at 6:30 was Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I would always finish my dinner, eat it fast, do my homework, and sit down and get ready to watch Are You Afraid of the Dark. It was something that I'd done all the time, every time it was on, and I was just so excited when it came on. There were some episodes that kind of annoyed me because they were showing them too much, but I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark, and I can't wait for the movie, because Goosebumps, the movie, was pretty good with Jack Black, and I'm hoping that this is a lot better. I don't want it to be too child friendly, because I know that Are You Afraid of the Dark was slightly scarier than Goosebumps. So yeah, I'm hoping that it's good. Even if it's okay, it's a bit of nostalgia for me. What about you? Are you excited for it? I know that you've done a few reviews. In fact, you've done a few interviews with some of the cast members of Are You Afraid of the Dark? So it'd be quite interesting to see your thoughts on the new movie. Yeah, Ian, like I said, that Halloween Blu-ray, I've never seen that anywhere from anyone. So that's why I've not got rid of it, because I did have a lot of duplicates of my Halloween movies on Blu-ray because I was Halloween crazy at one point, and I got rid of some of them, but that was just one that I felt like I had to keep. I'm glad I did. How can you see that? How do you see that from there? I can't even see that there. Hmm? Mhm. Hey Geek, I'm not going to that one is it in Edinburgh? I'm not going to it for I can't remember why I'm not going. I couldn't make it. At the time I got asked to go, I couldn't make it. And I don't have anything on that weekend either anymore, so I don't know why I'm not going. What about you, Geek? Are you going to it? Or did you see this jail? Uh, uh. So my lights are too bright. Sleepaway Camp. Hmm. I don't actually have the first one on Blu-ray because it's from Scream Factory. So I've got it on DVD. Oh. See, I never saw Are You Afraid of the Dark on any other channel other than Nickelodeon. And it was from maybe 1993 I started watching it till it ended. Not the new series, but the old series, the original series, that ended in 1996, I think it was. So I only watched it for a few years, but those few years that I watched it were so memorable. And even when it finished, we had reruns and reruns of it. So I watched it for an extended period of time, and I didn't watch the final two seasons that came out with the little brother. I know that he was the leader of the Midnight Society. Yeah, Deadly Dames was the one that told me about the convention in Edinburgh. It's Matthew Lillard that's in it. Jonathan Breck is in it as well, the Creeper. I don't know how many people are going to be wanting a photograph with him or want to discuss anything with him because they're going to have to be tight-lipped about Victor Salva. I'm in Glasgow. Geek is about an hour away, depending on traffic. It's around about an hour drive. So it's not. I travel to Edinburgh quite a lot for my work, so it's easy to get to, especially if you leave early in the morning. I photographed some houses out in Edinburgh, and I can leave at 7 in the morning and get there just before 8, just before rush hour. So if you leave any time after 7 o'clock, though, it gets a lot busier. Yeah, I mean, I love Goosebumps as well. It's a great show and a great movie as well. I'm looking forward to Goosebumps Haunted Halloween. In fact, my son, Jack, he's got his own YouTube channel. It's got over 1,000 subscribers now. And one of his videos has got 500,000 views, which is crazy. And it's all mostly Goosebumps related. He's got a Slappy doll. He got a Slappy for his Christmas, so he does little Slappy videos. And he asked me to help and edit and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But he's got over 1,000 subscribers now, and he's got over 500,000 views. And his videos get a lot more views than me. I think it's because it's a kids thing and kids rewatch their videos over and over again. But yeah, I prefer Are You Afraid of the Dark? Look at this. It's a one of a kind. Are You Afraid of the Dark? The complete series. Nickelodeon. And that was a scary episode. Scary. What are your guys' best episodes or scariest episode on Are You Afraid of the Dark? I think my my scariest episode is probably Dead Man's Float. I think that was really scary for its time anyway, and it's supposed to be for kids. Dead Man's Float, that's probably the scariest. Not my favourite, but the scariest one. I've got a few favourites, and I can't really pinpoint what one's my favourite. I like the Nightly Neighbours. That's pretty cool. It reminded me of Fright Night, the movie from 1985, except a kids version. So that always stuck with me. The Nightly Neighbours, I think it was called. Clown episode was good as well. How you doing, Debs? Debs for life? Zeeble. Is it Zeeble the Clown? Yeah, Zeeble the Clown. He was in a few episodes, and if he wasn't in a few episodes, he was mentioned, or we saw him in the background in a poster or whatever. Yeah. Tales of the Lonely Ghost, that's the one with Melissa Joan Hart. I think she was in that episode where they go to, they go to their family's farmhouse, and there's a ghost in the kind of the marshes. That was a scary one. I like the one, the shiny red bicycle. That was freaky. Tales of the Unexpected. I don't think I ever watched an episode of Tales of the Unexpected. Yeah, that's before my time though. Oh, the little girl in the mirror. Yeah, that's the one where the girl goes to her grandmother's house. There's a bunch of girls there that are kind of mean, and they try and make her do things to fit in with the crowd. Yeah, that was a good one. That's scary. Yeah, I think I remember every episode of You're Afraid of the Dark, and I think that if somebody said something to me about one of the episodes, I could tell them what happens in it, but I couldn't really tell you the names of them all until I really thought about it. Dr. Vink, yeah, he's quite cool. Vink is the name. And that little sleazeball, the little wheeling dealer, he's in a few episodes as well. What's his name again? He works in a magic shop. Yeah, I seen your videos, your interviews with the cast members of Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's pretty cool. They all seem like nice guys. Like some people were like, no, I don't want to do an interview. I can't be bothered. But they seemed up for it. They seemed really nice, and they're happy to answer questions even years later. And you can tell that they remember a lot. It's quite cool. Got this DVD recently, guys. Do you recognise it? I'm trying to keep the light away. Oh yeah. The first official release on DVD since 2000. It's The Midnight Hour. Anchor Bay released it in 2000, and it sold out. And this is the first DVD release, or the first physical release, official physical release since then. So I had to get my hands on it. Dun dun. I've actually got the Anchor Bay release. It's a mess here. Yeah, that's it. In the Midnight Hour. If you liked Michael Jackson's Thriller, stuff like that, you'll love The Midnight Hour. If you haven't seen it. No, not really, JL. I'm not a fan of Italian horror for some reason. Like, I don't know why. I think when you get dubbed movies, it puts me off, and it all seems a little too dubbed. I don't know. I don't know what it is about Italian horror, but I don't really like it much. I like Demons. Suspiria, I've seen once, and I was young, and maybe if I watched it again, I would like it now. Nowadays, I appreciate horror now and things, but no, not a fan. Yeah, DVD. I'm always up for stuff like that. I'd like to say this is my first full live video. I'm just testing it out just to see how it works and what my reaction is if people actually come on and comment. But yeah, I'm up for stuff like that in the future. Masters of Horror Jail. I've not seen them all yet. I started watching it, and the episode, I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes. It's the one with George Wendt, I think it was. It was a creepy episode. Family, is it Family? I watched a couple of episodes in it. It must have been about 2 years ago that I bought this now. It was pretty cool. I started making custom covers for these because they've all got their individual packaging or their individual discs. So I started making custom packaging for it just because I didn't really want them in that. Kind of a waste. No, I haven't seen the Jennifer episode. I heard that's a good one. I heard the best episode, which I haven't seen, is John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns. Not seen that episode either, so I need to check that out. Hi, Paul. Yes, I do. I love the Evil Dead franchise. For some reason, though, Evil Dead, the first one, was good. I know it's a lot of people, everybody's favourite. I thought it was really good, and I think Evil Dead 2 is a lot better. It was almost like a remake of Evil Dead. That's what Sam Raimi said. He thought he had a bigger budget. He's going to make the Evil Dead again, but make it slightly better. And he did that. So I think Evil Dead 2 was better than Evil Dead 1. And call me crazy, but I think Army of Darkness is better than Evil Dead 2 and Evil Dead 1. So I think Army of Darkness is my favourite from the original Evil Dead trilogy. And I really love the Evil Dead remake. I think it was bloody, it was gory, it was everything that the Evil Dead should be. And I think that that's the movie that Sam Raimi would have made if he had the technology and the money at the time. So it was fantastic. I love the Evil Dead franchise. There's not one bad film in the Evil Dead franchise. NM Sherm 28. I don't actually know how many DVDs I've got. The DVDs and Blu-rays that you see behind me are just my horror. I've separated all my other DVDs and Blu-rays in my other room. But this is just all the horrors that I've got. But I don't actually know how many I've got because I've got loads on the floor. In fact, VHSs as well. That's that's as far back as I go. So I've got VHS. I've got DVD that side. And I've got Blu-ray and 4K at that side. Which reminds me, one of my favourites. Honestly, Paul, I hope he looks realistic under the mask. I hope it doesn't look like Jason did under his mask, just kind of deteriorated. I can see why Jason looks the way he looks, but I think if they want to keep it realistic, I want Michael just to be normal. He's just old as a 61-year-old, and he's got a lazy eye, a bad eye from getting stabbed in the eye with the coat hanger. That's basically it. So just a guy with an eye like this, kind of like Are You Afraid of the Dark with Cutter's Treasure, or that. I don't actually have Hulu. Is that even available in the UK? I don't know. But I've got Netflix, and something always annoyed me about Netflix, and it still does, is their horror section. I watch Netflix mostly for the TV shows. They're pretty good. I like the Netflix originals TV shows. But for the horror, they're a big letdown for some reason. I prefer Amazon Prime for their horror because they've got some good independent ones that I've never even heard of. But yeah, Netflix is just it's hit and miss. But if you're watching anything good on Netflix, it's mainly the TV shows. Yeah, Geek, I totally agree. It should definitely look like the William Shatner mask. There's no other mask that it can look like. I know I done a video recently that of my favourite Michael Myers masks, And although H2O, the H2O mask is my favourite, this is obviously got nothing to do with H2O. This is Halloween from 1978. So it should 100% look like William Shatner's mask, just a little bit maybe worn and torn and a little bit more dirty. That's all I'd ask for. Yeah, the horror section does suck really bad. You get an occasional good horror movie on there, but by the time it comes on there, because I'm a horror fan, I bought it on Blu-ray already anyway, so the horror section is annoying. Ghostbusters 1 or 2. I'm not a fan of Ghostbusters. I actually really like the remake, or the reboot, sorry. I like the reboot. I hate Melissa McCarthy with a passion, but she didn't annoy me in that film, and maybe that's what I liked about it. Bill Murray was annoying in it in the remake, but I'm not a huge Bill Murray fan. But I can't choose between Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I like both of them. Ghostbusters 1 was my best for the storyline, but I think Ghostbusters 2 was a little scarier. I thought that painting was freaky, so scary, and I see that there's actually posters of that getting sold now. I might actually buy one. But yeah, Ghostbusters 1 and 2 is a tie for me. Hi Dylan, thanks very much for your comments. I'm glad that a lot of people can understand what I'm saying because I've got a thick Glaswegian accent. But yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, Michael should look a little older, a little more dirty, and obviously his eyes should be messed up. That's probably about it. See if they start putting green goo in his face and stuff, then no. Prefer DC or Marvel? Do we have to choose? That's the big question. Can we not like DC and Marvel? But I'll be honest, it's got to be Marvel. I mean, I've seen some of the DC movies are decent. The Suicide Squad was really panned by almost everybody, but I enjoyed that. I liked the chemistry between the squad, and I think it was a fast paced movie. That is probably the most fast paced movie of the whole entire DC franchise. So I do like Suicide Squad, but my favorite in the DC franchise is Man of Steel. I thought that was excellent. I think the action in it was great. The destruction of the city was needed and realistic. And if you've got two beings from Krypton fighting each other, there's not going to be no damage. They're going to cause a lot of mayhem and a lot of damage. So Man of Steel was my favourite. I liked Wonder Woman. I know that Wonder Woman is the best received out of them all, but Man of Steel was my favourite. But if I have to choose between DC and Marvel, it has to be Marvel. I mean, there's no comparison. The Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm talking, it's incredible. Yeah, Vigo, that's his name from Ghostbusters, the man in the painting. Have I ever seen Deathbed? Never heard of it. It's not that many horror movies I've never heard of. Deathbed, I need to look that up. Is it good? Critters or Critters 2? I don't know. I don't remember them. I've got them somewhere. But yeah, the funny thing is, the one Critters movie that I remember most is the worst one, and that is the one in space when Charlie goes up to space. I love Charlie. Charlie was my favourite character in all the movies. But that was the one I remember the most. I always remember going out. We never had the telephone years ago, so we had to go round to our local phone box. And I always remember it was windy and snowy, and I came back and had nice tomato soup and watched Critters 4 in space. That's why I remember that one most. I don't know why. But yeah, I've not seen any of the Critters movies for about 20 years. That's how long it's been. So I can't answer that, but I will revisit them because I'll probably compare them all again. Yeah, regarding Michael's face, we probably won't see his full face unless he is definitely going to die forever. Then I don't think we're going to see his face in this movie. And like you said, we might see glimpses of his face if his mask comes off, but I don't think we'll see his full face. Do you prefer DC because of the comics or because of the DC universe? It would be interesting to find out why, because the DC universe is they're trying too hard. I can appreciate what they're trying to do, but they're trying to do it all too fast. And my favorite Marvel character at the moment is Captain America or Steve Rogers. I didn't like Captain America at all, even when the first Avenger came out. I thought he was annoying, but since the Winter Soldier, he's incredible. Every time he's in it and he's being honest with himself, it blows me away. I've not seen Black Mirror on Netflix, but I will check that out. I like Jesse Plemons. I don't even know if he's in the full season, but I love Jesse Plemons. And there's a girl in Black Mirror who was also in Fargo with Jesse Plemons. I can't remember her name. She plays the wife in season 2 of Fargo on Netflix. Oh, I can't remember her name. But yeah, that looks pretty good. I will check that out, but I've not seen it at all. Yeah, when a horror movie goes to space, you know they've ran out of ideas. Jason X, for example, Critters, and Leprechaun in Space. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. See, the Tim Burton Batman movies were great, but they've got nothing to do with the DC universe. I mean, if I had to choose my favorite DC movie that's nothing to do with the universe, it's obviously going to be The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That DC have rushed it too fast. I've mentioned this in a few videos that they brought out Man of Steel, and then they brought out Batman versus Superman. How are we supposed to feel for Batman, and how are we supposed to feel too much for Superman? Obviously, I think we're all going to side with Superman in this one because we know his backstory, and we feel a bit for Superman because we've seen Man of Steel. But that's it. We don't really care much for the characters. Whereas Marvel have built it up over 10 years. And to see Civil War, for example, because that was similar to Batman versus Superman, to see them fighting, you're like, no, don't fight. You know, we love you guys. We've saw you all the way through these years. It was just so much more emotional. JL, I've never actually seen a comic book. I've never read a comic book in my life. So when it comes to Marvel and DC, all I know is what I've read online or watched in the movies. I did collect the Marvel Masterpieces when I was a kid, the trading cards, Marvel Masterpieces, and a few other ones that were similar to that. But that's all I know about Marvel and DC characters is what I've read on the cards, the little trading cards, read their power and how good they are and who the enemies are. That's all I know about them. So I've never read the Killing Joke. Is that a cartoon now? I don't know. Jared Leto's Joker, I think it was a bit too much. I think trying to emulate Heath Ledger's Joker was going to be a hard task. And as much as you shouldn't compare the both of them, you can't help but compare Heath Ledger's to Jared Leto's. Jared Leto's a fantastic actor. I just don't think he's Joker material. I never thought he would have been a good Joker, but he was better than I thought he would be, but nowhere near as good as Heath Ledger. Now that'd be cool if you regarding the visiting the locations for Ghostbusters. We can't do much of that here in Scotland because there's not much place to go that things have been filmed. Was Descent filmed in Scotland? I don't know. Under the Skin, that was filmed in Glasgow. But yeah, I'd like to visit places where famous movies have been filmed. That'd be brilliant. What movie would I like to see get a Blu-ray release? Over here in the UK, it has to be The Monster Squad because it's one of my all-time favourites and one of the inspirations for my YouTube channel. But the Midnight Hour, I'd like to see get a Blu-ray release. Don't care where they release it. The US, China, Japan, Italy. As long as that gets a Blu-ray release eventually, I'd be happy. Yeah, geek. I get quite a lot of trolls. Not a lot of trolls on my Halloween videos and movie review videos. It's mainly on. There was two videos that I've uploaded. My two most popular videos. The most popular videos are the ones that get trolls. So I've mentioned before my Venom video that I talked about the symbiote. There's a lot of people try to split hairs saying it's not the symbiote, it's not Venom, it's the symbiote. Yes, same thing. It's Sony aren't going to release a movie with the symbiote that's other than Venom, which we can prove now, obviously. So yeah, I got a lot of trolls on that one. Some of them say that that's not a deleted scene. Like, yes, it is, because it's not on the actual Blu-ray, DVD, or anything. There's a similar scene, but not that exact scene. So that's a deleted scene. The only way you can see that is from the trailer. And the one that I've got most trolls is the Marvel's Avengers Infinity War trailer that I made 4 years ago. Back in October, I'll say this again, right? Back in October 2014 at MarvelCon, Kevin Feige introduced the trailer for Marvel's Avengers Infinity War. Wasn't a full trailer because they didn't even start filming yet. In fact, Age of Ultron wasn't even out yet, but they wanted to let us know that the Infinity War is coming. So they cut a trailer, giving us past parts of the movies, and at the end we've seen finally Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet to get us all excited. So that trailer was never released. So what I done was, because all the clips were available in HD, I cut together as best as I could at the time HD versions of those clips that were shown in MarvelCon, and created the trailer from scratch basically. And then I managed to get the clip of Thanos with the gauntlet, put that in at the end. It was pretty decent, and a lot of people tried to emulate that as well. And then most people appreciated it, but as the video got more and more popular, more and more people were telling me that my trailer was fake and this. And I'm like, what? Like, read the description. I've actually wrote in the annotations, read the description, because I'm getting a lot of this. They don't read the description and they automatically say it's fake. I know it's fake because there's other clips from other movies in it. I'm like, and like, trailers have clips from other movies in it. That's natural, especially if it's a sequel to something, and especially if it's a trailer for a movie that hadn't even started filming yet. So yeah, I do get trolls, but mostly on my most popular videos. Before they're popular, don't get a lot of trolls, but when they become a little bit more popular, people then tell me, oh, it's clickbait, it's fake, blah blah blah. And I'm like, it did annoy me to start with, but it doesn't really annoy me anymore. That was a long answer. Yes, I'm excited for Bill and Ted 3. I loved Bill and Ted as a kid. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was pretty good, but I always go back to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. It was a great film, and it was a very educational film as well. When you watch it again, you're like, oh yeah, Beethoven, Napoleon, Genghis Khan. I didn't know these historical figures until I watched Bill and Ted. So it was very educational. So if you've got kids, guys, make them watch it. I do collect NECA figures now and again. I did have lots of NECA figures and I sold them all. I must have been about 21 at the time and sold them all because I didn't want them. But now I started getting in, introducing myself to them again. I've got this little guy. Hello. That's the ultimate Chucky. Comes with 3 heads and lots of accessories. And although this isn't NECA, it's McFarlane, I think. I'm going to get all the Stranger Things figures. I've seen the Demogorgon. The Demogorgon looks fantastic. It's a 10-inch figure as well, the Demogorgon. So that'll go nice with these guys. And maybe try and do a custom diorama of the arcade. That'd be pretty cool. And maybe try and get a couple of bikes, BMXs. Try and get 4 BMXs that fit these figures. That'd be quite cool. Yeah, Under the Skin was fantastic. A lot of people hated Under the Skin. I went to the cinema with a group of people to see Under the Skin. All the way through the movie, my jaw was on the floor. I thought it was amazing. And at the end of it, my friends were like, that was rubbish. I'm like, what? I loved it. Yeah, JL, April Fool's Day doesn't have a Blu-ray release, which is strange. Critters doesn't have a Blu-ray release either. It's a bit bizarre. There's quite a few high-profile horror movies and movies they don't have Blu-ray releases. I think it's strange. I know there's a history behind Michael Mann's The Keep from 1983. That's not got a Blu-ray release because he wants to forget that movie, but it's got a cult status now, and a lot of people want to see that on Blu-ray. Hey Jambo Shango. Favorite Chucky quote? Do you know there's a he's got so many great quotes. There's a scene in Child's Play 2. You know, I can't even remember the teacher's name, but when he comes out of the closet with the ruler and he's hitting his hand, he's like, "You be very naughty, Mrs. Somebody." Even though that's not a highly quotable quote, I think that was a good quote at the time. No problem. DVD reviews. You've not even told me your name. I keep forgetting, but your name's My DVD Reviews. But take care. Arrow Video or 88 Films, if you had to choose. Because I'm more of a fan of the movies rather than the material that it comes with, I'm going to have to say 88 Films. Arrow released some fantastic cover art and booklets and limited editions. They're amazing and they're second to none, but 88 Films has the best horror selection for me. They've got Come With Me, and Arrow were never going to release that, Slaughterhouse, and it's a great movie. I mean, this would never get a chance from anyone. The Bogeyman. So yeah, they just get so many good titles. I mean, it's one of my favourite horror movies of the 80s. Scarecrows. If you haven't seen Scarecrows, guys, watch that. I watched this. This is a terrible movie, but I still had to buy it. Scalps. And again, Arrow aren't known for releasing gems like this. And what sealed it for me as 88 Films being my best is Just Before Dawn. For those of you who know me, guys, or have known me for a while, Just Before Dawn is my favourite backwoods slasher subgenre. There's a subgenre of backwoods slashers is quite a big genre. Just Before Dawn is my favourite. That score by Brad Fiedel. The score alone is scary, but Just Before Dawn. I love 88 Films just for this one release only, alone. Blood Harvest. So yeah, 88 Films is what I would choose all day long, just for the titles. John Wick 1 and 2, they're fantastic movies. A lot of people like John Wick 2 better than John Wick 1. I prefer John Wick 1 slightly, but I love both of them. Well, Keanu Reeves isn't a great actor, but when it comes to movies like this, he puts his all into that. I watched some of the footage of him training for the movie, like shooting targets, and he was getting the targets every time. He's great. So yeah, John Wick 1 and 2 were fantastic. And they were directed by stuntmen as well. I don't know if you're away yet, James, but yeah, remember your name now, James. So if you're still here, see you later. Not done cosplay, geek, but I've made my own costumes in the past. I made a Pennywise costume years ago, which was pretty good. I got a mask for like £80 years and years ago, and it was so realistic. It's very tight latex Pennywise mask, nothing like you've seen online before. I've got some photographs of it that I'll show anybody who wants to see them. But I made a Pennywise costume before, and then when I was finished with it, I wish I didn't do this, but when I was finished with the mask, I sold it. The only reason I sold it is because I got £450 for it. So I made all £400 on the mask. I wish I didn't sell it now though, because it's probably worth more than that. Miss Kettlewell. That rings a bell, Kettlewell. Not just from Chucky 2, but from something else. Yeah. You've been very naughty, Miss Kettlewell. Maybe it is that. What's up, Genesis? I've never seen Black Christmas. Never seen 1974's Black Christmas. I know I'm a horror fan. I've never seen it. I've seen Black Christmas from 2006. I liked that, and maybe I liked it because I haven't seen the original. If I'd seen the original and then watched Black Christmas from 2006, I'd probably hate it. But I'm glad I watched the remake first because I liked it. So if I like the remake, I'll probably love the original. I heard it's very scary, especially for a 70s movie. Thanks, Genesis. Yeah, it's a strong Glaswegian accent that I've got. I'm from Glasgow, Scotland. If you were from Glasgow, you would hate my accent because it's so annoying. I hate the sound of my own voice. Best horror movie of the year so far, A Quiet Place. That was a great movie. I think A Quiet Place is better than Avengers Infinity War overall. I mean, Avengers Infinity War was incredible. Loved it. One of my favourite movies of the year so far. But A Quiet Place is my favourite movie of the year so far. So if that's my favourite movie of the year so far, it's my favourite horror movie of the year so far. Did I ever watch Scream Queens? No, I didn't. I actually quite fancied Scream Queens. I liked Scream, the TV show from MTV. Very underrated, but I never got around to watching Scream Queens with Jamie Lee Curtis and Emma Roberts. So no, I will watch it one day though. If you think it's pretty good, then if you recommend it, I'll definitely watch it. I'll see you later, Gingle. Or is it Jingle? 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 Never been to Wales, JL. No, my parents have been to Wales. They go all the time for some reason. They love it. I've never been to Wales. If you don't know, my name is Barry, and I know there's a Barry town in Wales. So maybe I was named after one of the towns in Wales because my parents love Wales, and my name's Barry. So I'll need to go to Wales though. I pass Wales every year. I go down to Torquay every year, and I pass Wales. It seems like a nice place. The best Arrow release in my collection. That's a good question. Let me think about that. Found it. The Thing. And again, this is what Arrow do better than 88 films is, they give you nice sturdy box. You get the Blu-ray inside that's got reversible cover art. Obviously, I had to change it to the original cover art. And then you get your poster inside, which has the original poster and the newly commissioned poster. And then you've got a nice sturdy booklet as well, which has got nice new cover art as well. Smells nice. I mean, look at the art in this. It's fantastic. Like that. So yeah, that's a pretty easy question. I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but yeah, The Thing, the limited edition. That's got to be it. So I'll put this away. Now, because I've got OCD badly, and it comes in that limited edition, you know what I had to do, didn't you? I had to get the slipcover version as well. I'm sorry. You know, this is Raw Films question about cheesiness and campy horror. I like campy horror. My best horror movies are all from the 80s, and most of them are very campy and cheesy. That's what I like. So if that's what it's like, then I'll probably like it. Yeah, Jambo. I never even thought about the thing when I turned around, but as soon as I saw the thing, then that's the winner for the best Arrow release. Favorite kill in Battle Royale. How many kills were in Battle Royale? There must have been about 100 kills. I don't remember. When was it? I didn't watch it that long ago as well. I watched Battle Royale about 4 or 5 years ago, and I don't remember. And I think I don't remember because there were so many kills. I do remember there being a lot of great kills and a lot of creative kills. I'll need to watch that again though, because I did like Battle Royale, but I couldn't tell you what my favourite one was because I can't remember. The Scarlet box set, I don't have that, but I've got the basic. I've just got the basic release. I was going to pick up the Scarlet box set, but again, I'm a sucker for standard Amares because they look better on the shelf because there's so many of them. So I waited for it and got this instead. There's a much difference between them. I'm guessing it's like the limited edition boxes. I know that the House collection is out of print now, and it comes with a nice booklet. But I'm not a fan of this 11mm spine, blue 11mm spine. It just doesn't look right. I might actually sell these and just go for the standard Amares because the standard Amares are available now for these. So I'll probably get rid of this, to be honest, and not because I don't like it. I love this collection, but I'd rather just have them singularly. No, Geek, I've not been tempted by steelbooks again since. I mean, I've had a lot of good experiences with steelbooks and a lot of bad experiences, and I can't be bothered with them. I remember when I used to order steelbooks from Zavi all the time, and I used to have to order about 5 or 6 of them just to get one that was in decent condition. And I know that dinks and dents don't really matter, but to a collector they do, and especially if you want to sell them on in the future, or if you've got OCD like me. I just don't think they were worth the hassle. And then this is what did it for me, and I've said this a number of times. When they announced Three Amigos on Steelbook, that's when Steelbooks were no longer special because that just means that any movie can come out on Steelbook. I love the Three Amigos. I don't have anything against the Three Amigos, but when you're going to bring out a Steelbook for almost every movie, it becomes a bit redundant. And I just think that Amares are a lot better and a lot easier to manage. So it's Zavi were the ones that done it for me. If Zavi brought out one steelbook a month for a special movie, I'd be all over that. But the fact that they're bringing out 4 or 5 a week, maybe even more than that, for movies that don't really matter, then are steelbooks really that important, and are they really that limited? And if you look on eBay at their sold section, if you look at any steelbook, the Three Amigos, for example, you notice that the Three Amigos steelbooks sold a lot cheaper than the Amare. It's because nobody really wants their steelbooks anymore. Steelbooks will have their life expectancy, and I think that's went down now. Not a lot of people are talking about steelbooks anymore. I've got a couple of steelbooks because of movies that I didn't buy yet on Amare or not available on Amare yet. So I've got Halloween on steelbook. I'm not selling that because it's Halloween. So, but apart from that, I don't have much steelbooks left. I don't own the Phantasm set at all. I've never seen a Phantasm movie either. It didn't interest me. It seemed a little too magical and mystical to me. So no, I don't own that. It's not because I hate it. I've just never seen it. So I didn't think spending all that money on that box set would be worth it in case I didn't like it. I'll maybe watch them. In fact, I've got. Yeah, that's all I've got, and I've never seen it. I don't know why I've never watched it. I'll probably watch it, and if I like it, I'd maybe look into that box set if it was still available. But no, it just didn't interest me. But the good thing is, Arrow Video got in touch with me. They liked a few of my reviews that I've done on YouTube, and I'm partnered with Arrow now. That's been about a month now, and they've not sent me anything yet. So that remains to be seen. But Arrow said they want to send me some review copies of films that they're bringing out in the future for me to review on my channel. Whether that be just the movie or the packaging, I don't know. But they said they'll get in touch with me and send me some review copies. So until that happens, then it might not ever happen. But that'd be quite interesting to do things for Arrow because they're a big company in the UK. What's my favourite cover art of the Halloween series? You know, it's not my favourite, but I do like the Nathan Thomas Milliner's artwork for these Halloween movies. They're pretty cool. They're probably my favourite of the recent artworks for Halloween. But originality or original, it's going to have to be contradicting myself here, but a steelbook. Yeah, it's going to have to be that artwork from the original Halloween. Simple title, simple cover. That's all you can ask for a Halloween movie. I like that as well. Just plain and simple. That's what I like about some steelbooks. They're plain and simple, but when you get too many of them, nah. How long will it be until my channel blows up? Probably never, to be honest. When somebody hears someone from Scotland, they kind of turn off most of the time because they don't understand me. They think I'm speaking a different language. I don't know. I'm speaking English. So I don't think my channel will ever blow up. If it gets popular, then great. When I set up my channel, I wasn't expecting to get anywhere near 100 subscribers, never mind 6,000. So I think my channel is overperforming, I would say. I didn't expect it to be this popular. And I'm not even popular, to be honest. My videos get an average of 500 views each. Some videos I get 20,000, 30,000 on, which is great. But then I'll get some videos that I think might be popular and they end up getting about 100 views. So my channel's up and down now and again. And since this whole adpocalypse, my channel took a dip. Well, it took a dip for a while. So I didn't expect my channel to be popular at all. I mean, I've got Google AdSense and I get some money every month from YouTube, not enough to make a living. And I didn't actually set this up to make a living. So, and like I said, my son's got a channel now and he's 7 years old and he gets more views than me per day. And he gets extra subscribers per day than me. I get an average of maybe 10, 15 subscribers a day, which is good. I like that. But he gets about 20 a day now. And his channel's just started. He's got 1,300 subscribers and 500,000 views already. I've got 7.7 million views on my channel and 6,800 subscribers. But that's over the space of 7 years. So I've been doing this for years. You guys out there just started this year. In fact, Sean Chandler, Sean Chandler, he started his channel years ago, but he didn't really get into it until maybe a year ago. So within the last year, he's got 35,000 subscribers or something. That's what you call successful, and that's what you call blowing up. But for me, I'm happy the way it is. If it blows up, then great. I'd really like that. But at the same time, that's not my aim. My aim is just to do what I love. I'm a photographer, so I love getting all my equipment out, using my camera. This is just my laptop camera. But yeah, use my camera equipment and just talking about movies. I come from a place and I come from an area and a family where not a lot of us talk about movies. And that's what I want to do. So if I didn't have YouTube, I would have nobody to talk to about what I loved. So by doing this, I'm getting to do what I love. And that's it. That's all I want for my YouTube channel, doing what I love. Yeah. I mean, if I had Nick Castle's signature on that and John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis signing my steelbook, then it'd be worth a bit of money and I'd like it a lot more. Yeah, Geek, I've had some reviews from other companies. 101 Films send me Blu-rays, and Second Sight, they send me Blu-rays as well, and they always come in a see-through clamshell with a disc and just a bit of paper giving me information about it. But 101 Films, when they send me DVDs though, I've not done this for a while, but when 101 Films send me DVDs, they send me the full. They send me the full thing with a slipcover, but that's just for the DVDs. When it comes to Blu-ray, for some reason they don't send the full Blu-ray. They sent me a couple with the full Blu-ray. The last Blu-ray that I received from any of them was The Phantom of the Opera by Robert Englund. They sent me that with the full Blu-ray, but apart from that, it's just all disc with a bit of paper. Yeah, quality, not quantity. Quality. Yes, I'm a big fan of Reanimator, and in fact, I'm just a recent fan of Reanimator. I watched Reanimator about 2 years ago for the first time, and I loved it. And then last year, I just watched the second one, Bride of Reanimator, and I love. Is it Bride? Yeah, Bride of Reanimator, the second one, and I love that as well. That's the Bride. And it's funny you should ask that. Reanimator, that was one of the review copies that I got, which is actually this from Second Sight Films. They sent me the review copies to review, but they only sent me the discs. So I made the arrow cover that's similar to the US release and just stuck it in that. I've never seen the third Reanimator movie though, so I'll need to check that one out. Ever seen Nightbreed? Yes, I've seen Nightbreed, and I really like Nightbreed. I've seen both versions of Nightbreed. You know, I probably get every movie you're talking about, guys, whether I've seen them or not. Nightbreed. Although these aren't the definitive cuts, the cuts were pretty good, and I like both versions, the director's cut and the theatrical cut. I've never seen the full extended cut that's going for like $400 on eBay. I'll never spend that much money on a movie that I don't love. I really like it, but not enough to spend that much money on it. But this will do me for now. Yeah, that's the cut that I don't have, the Cabal cut. That's the one I don't have. And I'm not going to spend that money on it because it's crazy. Hey, Devin Graham. Isn't that Devin Graham? See, Phenomena is a good film. And like you said, I love the atmosphere in that style of movie. But it just looks too Italian horror to me. And it puts me off a lot. Have I got Phenomena? Of course I've got it. Phenomena. I've not opened this one, but yeah, I've got Phenomena. I'll revisit this film at some point, but it's just not my favourite. Is it called Creepers in other countries? You know, the Munsters and the Addams Family is a fun thing, something that I would never purchase. But if it was on TV, my eyes would go towards the TV because it's quite interesting and quite engrossing at times. But I was never a big fan of the Munsters or the Addams Family. Yeah, Creepers in the USA. I'm not a fan of Argento. No, not a fan. I've got some Argento movies, and a lot of people have asked me that because I'm a horror fan. Are you a big fan of Dario Argento? No. I'm a fan of Asia Argento, though, for different reasons. But no, not a fan of Dario. I've got one Argento movie. In fact, I've probably got more than that I just not even looked. But I've got Inferno, Disco Inferno. I've probably got more, but I've not even looked at them all. Oh, you're meeting Dario Argento next week? No, I would hate to meet Dario Argento in case he asked me if I liked his movies and which movies have I liked of his, because I couldn't tell you, and I couldn't. I've probably seen some Argento movies and not even realised they're Dario Argento. See, the giallo genre, I'm clueless to all that stuff. If anybody asked me my opinions on it or if I like that kind of stuff, I couldn't lie and say yes or no, so I don't know anything about them. Who wins in a fist fight between Mr. Bean and Donald Trump? I think it'll be a draw. If it was Rowan Atkinson, then probably Rowan Atkinson. But the character, maybe a draw. Yeah, exactly. Marmite, you either love it or hate it. Well, maybe not, because I don't know. I couldn't tell you if I love or hate. So if you've seen them, then yes, it's a Marmite situation, love or hate. I have no opinion on it though, because I don't know. Ever met any famous horror stars? I used to work with a famous horror star. And when I say a famous horror star, I mean an actor who's been in one horror movie, and that is James McAvoy. We used to work in Sainsbury's together. For those of you from the UK, you'll know what Sainsbury's is. It's just a supermarket, like Walmart. I used to work with him. He worked in the bakery department, and I worked in the produce department. It was like as I just started in Sainsbury's, he was just leaving, so I didn't really speak to him that much. But I didn't recognise him because I didn't know who he was. But he lived in Drumchapel, which is just around the corner from me. And then some of my friends were saying, "Do you know this guy?" This was a little while after they left. Somebody said, "Do you see that guy on Band of Brothers, James McAvoy?" I'm like, "No, I don't know who it is." And they're saying, "Well, he worked in the bakery department. Do you remember him?" I'm like, "You know, now that you mention it, I do remember him, yeah." And he left Sainsbury's to go down and live in London, and that was it. Everybody thought, oh well, see you later. And then all of a sudden, he's in Band of Brothers, and then he's in Children of June, and then he's in Wanted, and now he's in Split, and he's Professor X. It's amazing, unbelievable. So yeah, I have met a horror icon, James McAvoy. I did own some metal packs of Halloween from Germany. I did own some of them, not just Halloween, but other metal packs. That when I collected steelbooks and metal packs, sold them all though. I just didn't want them. Metal pack. I don't really like metal packs because you could see on the spine, you could see a little bit of the plastic from the joint. I didn't like that. Yeah, Jambo Sainsbury's. Do you know Sainsbury's? Because that's where me and Jamesy boy used to work. He done better than me though. I should have been a baker. Hey, look, no problem. Yeah, Sainsbury's is your local. If you go in there, you might see somebody who will become famous eventually. So take their names. And James McAvoy's only mentioned in what I think he mentioned in one of his interviews that he used to work in Sainsbury's. Never mentioned me though. Gutted. Whereabouts are you from, Jambo? Oh, Tesco. I like Tesco better as well. I've got a Tesco round the corner from me, so I prefer Tesco. Tesco, I've got a Tesco Metro, which is small. Then they've got the Tesco Superstore, or whatever you got, Tesco Extra. Tesco are taking over though; they're huge now. I've met one wrestler, and it was an accident. It was Roddy Piper. He was out on a night out in Glasgow years ago. I'm glad I met him before he passed away. He's a nice guy. I think he used to come to Scotland now and again because of his Scottish roots. Because he was the Roddy Piper. Everybody from Scotland loved him. I've never been ever to a horror convention. I've been to like Comic Con and the Glasgow Comic Con, which isn't that big, but I've never been to a horror convention. I'm gutted because there's a horror convention on next week in Edinburgh, and I don't think I can go. I can't even remember why. I'll need to double check why I can't go, but I'd like to go to something like that. See, I'm the opposite with um, Tesco and Sainsbury's. Look, when I go to Sainsbury's, there's like 2 or 3 DVDs and Blu-rays. It's rubbish. Then when I go to Tesco, especially the Tesco Extra, they've got like 2 aisles worth of DVDs and Blu-ray in my Tesco, so that's good. But there are some good deals in. There's a big Sainsbury's near me who have a good Arrow selection. I think they've got some sort of deal with Arrow. So yes, I do like Sainsbury's for their horror collection. Yeah, I mean that London Film and Comic Con, it's just too far away for me. I'd have to get either the train, which costs quite a bit of money, going from Glasgow to London, London to Glasgow, or use a lot of petrol in my car, and it's quite far. You know, it's about a 7 hour drive, 7.5 hours from Glasgow to London. I travel to Torquay every year. I'm going down to Cornwall this year, and then travelling up a bit to Torquay after it. I'm going down to Cornwall for a week, and then Torquay for a week after that, straight away, and then back up to Glasgow again. That's 10 hours, obviously, including your stops. So it's quite far away to drive, especially if you're only going for one day. I don't mind the drive because I'm going for 2 weeks, but if you're going for a day, it's not worth the petrol, not worth using your car that much either. See, I don't know who Sandman or Shannon Moore is. I take it they're wrestlers. I know is Mick Foley the guy with the glove who looks like Leatherface. I think that's a good question, Raw Film. Would excuse me? Would you ever want to have 1 million subscribers, or do you prefer a smaller, dedicated community? Obviously, I love 1 million subscribers because I would probably make a lot of money, but at the same time, you'd be under that pressure of getting videos put out at certain points and having that certain professionalism in all your videos. The way that is just now, I can sit and chat with you guys. I can argue with people as well and not have complaints against me. I'm just a normal YouTuber. I've had a few people complaining though to me, saying this is terrible. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but do you want your money back? You know, you don't pay for this service. I'm not giving you a service. I'm just giving opinions. So yeah, you'd have a lot of I have a lot of hate as well. So I don't know. I like the smaller dedicated community for the reasons that I'm interested in the things that you guys are interested in, and vice versa. So that's good for the smaller community, but it wouldn't hurt to have 1 million subscribers. So I wouldn't say no to that. I think I think I would probably love the horror conventions, Devon, if I went to them, and I will go to them eventually. I'm just too famous. HorrorCon next weekend, Jambo. Is that the one in Edinburgh you're going to? Or is it another one in the UK? Soko. Yeah, so Mankind is that guy. Yeah, I've been to one concert, JL. I love music as well. I've only been to one concert, and that was Oasis back in 2008. So my last concert and my first concert was 10 years ago. Well, that's it. Look, I'll just do what I love. If my channel booms, great. My channel's boomed because I'm doing what I love. If it doesn't boom, I'll still do what I love because I love it. I'm a Freddy's Dead hater. I'm not a Freddy's Dead hater, but it's one of the worst. It is the worst in the Freddy franchise. So if you're asking me if I hate it in a Freddy franchise, then yes, I'm a Freddy hater. But I've seen a lot worse movies than Freddy's Dead. That's for sure. Josh, what am I editing? Nothing at the moment because I'm having a good chat at the moment. I was editing a Thor Ragnarok Blu-ray cover for somebody. I'll do that later on, but I'm having a good chat just now. Yeah, Raw. I love all these live feeds that some of the guys do. I love Dead Meat's live feed, and I love the Lee McCoy's live feeds as well. But they're from a different time zone from me. I'm guessing potentially you as well. And it's hard to watch them live because it's like 2 in the morning by the time they start the videos. So if we all lived in the same time zone, that'd be great. But I do love watching the live chats because you can get involved and have a good chat with everybody. Oh yeah, Sheffield one. Jeffrey Coombs, Barbara Crampton. See, that's Dee Wallace as well, and that's a good reason to go to these conventions just for Barbara Crampton alone and Jeffrey Coombs. I love Jeffrey Coombs, but in Glasgow, sorry, in Edinburgh, maybe that's why I'm not really fussed about it. We've got Matthew Lillard, who's great in Scream. We've got Jonathan Breck, and then we've got secondary characters from horror movies like the guy from 31, the Rob Zombies 31. So we don't have that big of casts coming to these places in Scotland at the moment. So, until somebody huge comes to these conventions, then they don't really interest me much. The only interesting thing would be for me to go and meet people that have the same interests as me. That's about it. Do I prefer Stephen King novels or movies? I've only read two Stephen King novels, and that is, well, I've read one and a half, sorry. I've read Misery, which I've loved, and I've read half of Stephen King's It so far. I will read the other half before the other movie comes out. I've not read half and half because that's the way the movies do it, because the book doesn't go like that. But I will read the other half of the book soon. But I do love Stephen King movies. I love the ones that people hate as well. I love Sometimes They Come Back. Great Stephen King movie. And I love, or I don't love, but I like Sleepwalkers. And that's panned by almost everybody. So I do like Stephen King movies. I love Misery, The Green Mile. Um, I love it. I love the miniseries from it. I love most Stephen King adaptations. Yeah, you're Irish, Raw, so same time zone as me. Unless, is there a time zone in Ireland where you're an hour behind? I don't know. It's strange, yeah. Look, that you're saying about strangers pray at night. We're getting it 2 months after the USA. That's quite rare for that to happen now, especially for films that are semi popular. And then for it not to get shown at all in Southampton, that's strange. I don't understand that. But yeah, even in Glasgow, we only had like 2 or 3 showings a day when it first came out, or the first day it came out. So they must have not anticipated a big box office return. And there wasn't a big box office return. So, but I liked it. I liked it just as much as the first one. 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to get a drink. Be back in a second. It's not your usual monster that everybody shows on their videos. I think the Flick Pick used to always drink a Monster, even though he doesn't do it anymore. He used to always drink a Monster drink on his videos, and ever since he done it, maybe half of guys on YouTube who were trying to be like him had a Monster drink. But no, I've just got a still strawberry. Barbara Crampton just gets more attractive with age. 100% agree. You know, I watched You're Next a few years ago in the cinema, and I saw Barbara Crampton in it, and I didn't even know it was Barbara Crampton. I thought the actress who turned out to be Barbara Crampton, I'm like, is that a young actress made to look old? Or is that just an old actress that looks really young? And I just thought all the way through the movie, this woman is so hot, and I don't know why. I don't know what it is. And then after the film finished, I went on to IMDb, and I saw it was Barbara Crampton. I'm like, well, that's why. Barbara Crampton is absolutely beautiful. She's naturally beautiful. I don't know what it is about her. She's just so beautiful. Yeah, Sometimes They Come Back is awesome. I really like Sometimes They Come Back. It's such a good story. It's like an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? We were talking about Are You Afraid of the Dark earlier. But yeah, I really liked Sometimes They Come Back. How you doing, Gashead Steve? The Running Man is the best Stephen King film ever. I thought The Running Man was pretty good. You tend to forget about these movies that are not really horror when it comes to Stephen King. But yeah, The Running Man was good. The pool scene in The Strangers Pray at Night was probably the best scene in the film, and I think it's because I love my neon 80s horror movies. So yeah, it was a good scene. It was a good throwback scene. For those of you who've seen The Guest, it felt like The Guest for a little minute or two. It was a good scene, quite a graphic scene as well, and quite a hard-hitting scene. So if you've not seen The Strangers Pray at Night, I won't say much in case some of you guys haven't saw it, but definitely check it out. It's worth a watch if you're a horror fan. Yeah, we've got two Southampton guys here. And if you like football, you've got one game to save it in the Premier League. Salem's like that is a good one. Watch this. Salem's Lot. Boom. That's how we roll. I've not watched Black Mirror before. Somebody asked me that a little while ago. I will watch Black Mirror eventually. It looks pretty interesting. Yeah, Gashead. I love Vamp. Vamp is a good movie. And it also stars, I'm going to cheat here, Robert Rustler. I love Robert Rustler. He's great in Sometimes They Come Back and also A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Yes, it's a VCR. It works as well. I've got Fright Night there just for my videos. But yeah, it's a working VCR. I've got two VCRs. One is in my other room and one is here. If you're just late to the party, I've got a lot of old rec stuff. I have my Atari 2600. It still works. For those of you from the UK will know this more. And we've got the Sega Master System. Ooh, I love it. And I've I've also got my Mega Drive. It's a Sega Genesis in the US, if you're from the US. Retro. Bristol Rovers. Are they in League One? The Lincoln Imps. They beat Celtic. They beat Celtic 1-0 last year or 2 years ago, but overall Celtic won. The Lincoln Red Imps. Yeah, Robert Russell is a classic 80s horror icon, I would say. He was in two fantastic ones from the 80s and a great one from the early 90s. You've got Halloween 5 on VHS. Watch this. I don't have it, but watch this. A lot of you guys know me for my Blu-ray custom covers. Now, before we had computers and before we had printers, I made this. Doesn't look like much. There's my spine. Halloween 5. Totally cheesy, and I was a teenager at the time. And it was even recorded off the TV. So that's my Halloween 5, a custom VHS cover. That's how old that is. The Mega Drive, you know, I had Jungle Strike, Desert Strike. Those were crazy, amazing for the Mega Drive. What else was good? I can't even. Terminator 2 or Robocop versus Terminator for the Mega Drive. Some classic games. Yeah, the Atari. Atari was fantastic. I've still got loads of games for it as well. Atari was my first one. Then I had the Master System. Then the Mega Drive. Then I went to PlayStation 1, 2, 3, then 4. And I've been PlayStation since 1996. Scottish Twitter. I don't actually read a lot of Scottish Twitter. I've got a few friends from Scotland on Twitter. And some of the banter is pretty funny, but I don't find it that funny. I can see why other people find Scottish banter funny because they're not from Scotland. But when you're reading it, the only thing you can do is relate. But sometimes it's not really funny. Yeah, so Bristol City are in League One. I thought that I always get mixed up with Bristol City and Bristol Rovers. And I know that Derek McInnes was the manager for one of them. I don't know if it was Bristol City or Bristol Rovers. I can't remember. Yeah, I played Crash Bandicoot and Abe's Odyssey on the PlayStation. I've got them in my room on the PlayStation 1 still. Yeah, look, that was the best way to do it. Make your covers, record them off the TV and make your covers, your VHS covers. Golden Axe. I've got that on my PlayStation 4. Or is it? No, I've got it on my PlayStation 3 Golden Axe. I got it for £3 off the PlayStation Store years ago. Good evening, TYTD Reviews. I've had a few people ask me if I've seen the Loch Ness Monster. You know, not a lot of people in Scotland know about the Loch Ness Monster. If you ask 10 people in Scotland where the Loch Ness Monster is, 9 out of 10 of them will tell you it's in Loch Lomond, and it's not. It's obviously up in Inverness. So not a lot of Scottish people know about the Loch Ness Monster. So don't ask a Scottish person because they know the least about the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, Jambo, I've done a few videos of my full collection, but not one since they've been up there. So I'll probably do one because it'll be easier to do them now because they're all in the one place with all my horror collection anyway. But if you've got a recommendation, if you want to see one of my movies, I'll show it to you. I've probably got, in fact, I think most of the movies you guys have mentioned I've got. So ask away. Yeah, Gashead, even if you are self-promoting, I don't mind. I'll definitely check that stuff out. I love old stuff, all the retro games and stuff like that, so I'll definitely check that out. I was never a fan of Rayman. I rented Rayman from the video shop years ago, and I didn't like it, so I just didn't play it again. Right. Bristol City are in the championship. It was Bristol City then that Derek McInnes managed, I think. I keep forgetting because I think Derek McInnes got his team relegated. Maybe got them relegated to League One and then they went back up to the championship again. I don't know, but it was a few years ago. Yeah, if I do a video of all the movies that I own, just quickly, I'll never be able to do that properly because I'll always get to a title for a movie that I want to talk about. Uh, in case you haven't heard of that movie, so I'll probably always stop what I'm doing and just go off on a tangent. It's hard to do that. Do I own the Gate and Waxwork from Vestron Video? I don't own the Gate yet. I will buy that at one point, but I think I've got Waxwork. You know, I've got that many horror movies, I don't even know what I've got. I've actually went out and bought movies that I've already owned because I forget that I'm buying them. Waxwork. Huh. Waxwork. So yes, I own Waxwork, but I don't own the Gate yet. I do love the Gate, and I love the Gate 2. I know that Scream Factory are bringing out the Gate 2. Look, Morris. This is what annoys me about the UK. We never get any good Halloween releases. You're always having to import from the US or somewhere else. The only Blu-rays that have come out in the UK are the Blu-rays that I've got for Halloween, and that is Halloween 1, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Halloween 2, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It's just weird. I don't know why they've done that. So yeah, I've got well, of course I've got this. The Scream Factory box set. It's the only way to own them all complete where they are. So I've got that, and I'll keep this forever because it's a fantastic box set. But yeah, I just wish the UK would get their fingers out their butts and give us a good release. They might do this year because of the new Halloween movie, so I'm going to always keep searching on Blu-ray.com to see if there's any more announcements for any more UK Blu-ray releases for Halloween. Yeah, I've been to Inverness as well. Gashead Steve. Never climbed Ben Nevis though. It's hard to climb the hill at my house. Never mind Ben Nevis. Yeah, don't talk about Bristol City. I don't talk about Celtic, so you don't talk about Bristol City. I think Trainspotting is highly overrated. I like Trainspotting, it's a good movie, but when people say it's one of the best movies they've ever seen, I'm like, no. I like Trainspotting. Some of the Trainspotting was filmed near me as well in Partick. But yeah, I like Trainspotting, but it's just not a great movie. One of my favourite Scottish movies was similar to Trainspotting, and it's called Small Faces. If you've never seen Small Faces, check that out. It's a great movie. It came out in 1995, so look out for that. It stars Kevin McKidd. What's my favourite cover that I've designed? I've got lots of favourites. It's hard to show you because they're all on my computer, but some of my printouts, you'll hate me for this, but I'll show you anyway. I do like this one, Clown House. I like that design that I made. I like this one. It's Halloween, but I've just called it the Babysitter Murders to make it more dramatic, because that's what it used to be called before it got released, the Babysitter Murders. I like this one because the director loved this. He actually sent me a message on Twitter to say that he loved it, and it got like 17,000 views on Twitter for the cover. And I made it available for everybody who wanted to download it, because the director, Duncan Jones, David Bowie's son, said that he would like to see a Blu-ray design for Mute, because it's never going to get a Blu-ray release. It's never going to get a physical release. So a few has made a few Blu-ray covers, and I'm not being biased, but I think mine was one of the best out of them all, and he loved it, and he retweeted it as well. So that's quite special to me. So that's probably one of my favourites because of that. But I've got tons and tons. I've made thousands of covers, so it's hard to pinpoint what one's my favourite. So yeah, if you've been a follower of me for my covers for a long time, you're probably one of the first people who saw me either on YouTube or saw my initial covers that I've done, because I've been doing covers for years. Well, I wear the new Halloween 2018 mask this October and hand out sweeties. Probably the H2O mask I wear every single year and scare the kids at Halloween, and this year's no exception. So if I do get the new one, I'll do it with the new one. If I don't get it, not to worry. I've got the costume, and I've got the H2O mask, so I'll be out there scaring the kids. See, look, I don't have a Region 1 Blu-ray player, but the cheapest way to do it is you buy an external. This is it's quite annoying, but it's quite cheap. If you buy an external Blu-ray rewriter, cost me £55. Put it in your laptop and stick it on Region 1. So only play your Region 1 Blu-rays on this external Blu-ray player, and just plug it through HDMI into your television. That's what I do. So if I'm watching a Region 1 player, stick it in the laptop and put it onto the television, and only keep that Region 1 or Region A, sorry. And that's what I do. It's the cheapest way to do it just now. I go camping quite a lot, GL. Well, I used to go camping quite a lot. And I'd find it quite interesting if Jason Voorhees was after me. I enjoy Clown House. It was a creepy movie, especially after finding out what happened behind the scenes. That's obviously terrible, what happened with Victor Salva. But the movie was very eerie and creepy. It's one of my favourite clown horror movies. There's not that many, but it's one of my favourite. It had a lot of atmosphere in it, very creepy. And I love Sam Rockwell as well. Oh, that's right, Jambo. You got Pumpkinhead and American Werewolf in London covers. Covers. I must have done them about 2 years ago, maybe even longer. I hope they're still okay. Would I ever make a cover for Leprechaun versus Chucky? Only if the movie gets released. I don't make, well, I try not to make covers for movies that don't exist, because it'd be hard to get artwork for them. Just to let you guys know, I don't create artwork myself. I take artwork and put it into Blu-ray covers and move it all around as best as I can, clean them up, take away text and ruined artwork, and try and make it good. But I don't physically draw artwork myself. I'm a good drawer. I can draw. I'm a good artist, but I don't actually do that for Blu-ray covers. I've seen the new Predator trailer. I'm not a Predator fan. I will watch this movie though, simply because it's directed by Shane Black and written by Shane Black and Fred Dekker. And for those of you horror fans know, Shane Black and Fred Dekker wrote The Monster Squad, and Fred Dekker directed The Monster Squad. So Fred Dekker's been out of the scene for a long time, and this is his comeback. So I'm going to give him a chance, and I'll watch The Predator because of Fred Decker, basically. But the trailer looked okay. I mean, you didn't see a lot of The Predator in it at all, but I'm not a big fan of The Predator, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Yeah, the silver shamrock masks. I've never got a silver shamrock mask, and I'd like them. I like Season of the Witch. A lot of people crap on Season of the Witch because they don't think it's a good Halloween movie. I think it's a great movie, and it's the last movie in the series that felt like a John Carpenter style movie. So, yeah, I'd love to get the masks. It's even just to put up behind me. They're great. No problem, look. Yeah, GL, I've got the Friday the 13th game. I'm absolutely terrible at it, but I've not played it that much. I play it online. I downloaded it actually the week that it came out. I think the gameplay is a bit one dimensional when you're running. I play Uncharted 4 multiplayer on the PlayStation 4, and the gameplay is absolutely amazing. It's so smooth. But when you go from that to Friday the 13th, I think that's what I don't like about the Friday the 13th game, is you're kind of running in square directions. It's hard to explain, but it's just not as realistic feeling as Uncharted. Yeah, the Vipco covers, Jambo. I've done a few of them, just in celebration to Vipco because they're more a UK company. And I started doing some kind of 15 mil spines to go with the UK guys, and I've done some thin ones for the US guys as well, the 11 mil spines. Not done a lot of them, but it was a good little collection that I done. Well, Jason does kill you all the time in the game, but I'm rubbish at the game, so if I can find a place where he can't find me, I just sit there. I don't know what to do, so I just sit there and hide and hope for the best. Yeah, I've seen the trailer for the Michael Myers add-on for the Dead by Daylight. It looks pretty cool, but again, it does look like that kind of same gameplay as Friday the 13th. And yes, Uncharted 4 is literally the best game for that style of action. I love it. The multiplayer is second to none. Well, guys, it's 6 o'clock and I'm going to go and get my dinner. So, this was a quite successful first live chat that I've had, to be honest. Didn't imagine I'd get that many people talking to me about movie related stuff. It's pretty cool. But for all of you guys who've been on talking to me, thank you very much. Thanks for the questions, and I had a great chat. So, I think I'm going to go in 1 minute. You too, Luke. Thanks very much, Steve. Thanks, Jambo. Yeah, I'll do more of these live chats just randomly. If I've got a couple of hours, I'll just stick myself on live chat and just chat away. And if anybody's available, great. Most of you guys are from the UK, and it's because it is 6 o'clock at night. So the rest of those American guys are sleeping in their beds. So yeah. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I feel like I'm actually recording a video here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. But yeah, I'll see you soon, guys. Bye bye. Well, how do I turn this off? Oh, right. Okay. I see it. End stream.